Well, welcome back everybody to another episode of How to Make Your Geo Metro Faster. Hot Rod Guy Garage. Uh, Today, I'm working on let's just say it's a homemade water methanol kit. And considering what we're working on and what kind of money we get to mess with, I'll flip it around and show you kind of what we got going on. And alright guys, as you know with the supercharger, we technically don't have to put the water methanol in the high pressure zone. So that being said, I reinstalled the washer tank, and I got a piece of silicone hose hooked up to it down there, and I got a little open T here from a boost controller I just took apart. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to pop a hole in this right here, and we're going to attach our windshield washer sprayer in here like this. Now there's some concerns that it might come off, but the silicone hose, it holds very well. Now you got to keep in mind this is not a stock windshield washer hose. I have put a Holley air bleed jet in here that I have soldered up, and it has a very small pinhole in it. This setup flows somewhere about 75 milliliters a minute, which is right up on par with most stuff. And as you can see, I angled it up out of the way. This kind of disturbed the spray pattern since we don't have a lot of pressure. That being said too, I did install another one of those brass air blades in the hose right here. That one's got about a 60 thousandths hole in it. So what this does is gives us a constant pressure on our sprayer and gives us a return line back to the washer tank. So I don't know if it's going to make a big difference. While under the dash of Blue Balls today, I noticed it had a full throttle switch from the factory mounted on a gas pedal. So I'm going to remove that full throttle switch, which is from the dealer added AC stuff that it used to have. And I'm going to wire that full throttle switch to our washer pump. So technically, anytime the car is wide open, it's going to turn the water methanol on. And it's going to blow, water methanol mixture into the blower, and then the blower will push it up through, in. So hopefully what it'll do, it'll help cool the blower, and it'll help cool the air charge. And I do have a way to log the IET temps via the Holley handheld. So I'll pop back in when I get some data, and we'll see if it makes any difference. But basically, guys, with the supercharger, you just got to get it in it. You don't have to put it in the high pressure side. So that's what I want to do. Alright, and I got our full throttle switch extracted and temporarily wired up, and got our nozzle over there. So, and as you can see, when you hit the switch, you get good flow. So, and I can always increase the flow of it, which also straightens up the spray pattern a little bit by changing the jet over here in the T. So looks like it's going to work, guys. Not ideal by any means, but for the cost of a free roll of silicone hose I had laying around and some other junk that was just laying here, and a piece or two off the other car, should work pretty well. And alright guys, I went ahead and got a kit the rest of the way hooked up. I just kind of zip tied this stuff up the bottom of the core support. Drilled a hole in the washer fluid cap. Don't worry, I got an extra. But I drilled a hole in the washer fluid cap, pushed my hose down in there, secured our T to the horn wiring. And I popped this little hole right here on the downward angle with it facing the supercharger inlet. Now, this isn't going anywhere. It's I drilled the hole exact, and it clips in just like it does in the hood. And if that fails, we always got our hose. You can't pull this thing off with any kind of normal force. So, real curious to see what the results are going to be. Uh, it's been thundering pretty bad, and weather's not been our friend today, so may have to test it another day, and we'll just see what happens. But you know, didn't cost nothing. It was free. So any gain will be a good gain. And it sure is not going to hurt anything getting some extra coolant in that supercharger or the charge air. Because the IETs do start going up pretty quick once you're in boost. Alright guys, it's the next day and I've been out making some test passes. I've made about 4 or 5. I actually ran out the quarter mile one time just to get some data. So far, it's picked up a little over a 10th. And I will say this, I'm getting some belt slippage from the supercharger from the added load of the water meth being sprayed into it. So I come back home, I lowered the tire pressure to 30 pounds instead of 40. Put 2 degrees of timing in it, and I tightened the blower belt up some. Not a whole lot. And I did increase the flow of the water methanol kit to about 150 cc's a minute. So I'm fixing to take it back out, see if I can't make at least one more pass, and see how much it does pick up from making those changes. Now keep in mind, anytime you do something like this, there will be some tuning involved. Nothing's ever truly a bolt on and go, unless you're just mediocrely happy with your results. So far, it's done pretty good. Super happy with it. You know, anytime that you mess with stuff, you gotta make some little tweaks to it. Not no big deal. It is turned out to be sunny, so I'm probably going to drag out Phoenix after I get back this second time. Probably drive it to the shop tomorrow. So stay tuned, and we'll see what else kind of updates we get. Alright guys, I just got back again. Once again, it's picked up even more. Seems to be a common theme here. Every time I do something to it, it does pick up. So far, we're at a 1018 and 8th mile at 69.87 miles an hour. I will drop all the data from today at the end of the video, but super good gain for, you know, a free water methanol kit and a little tweaking. That's, you know, almost 4/10, about 4 miles an hour. So big, super huge gain. So if you do go down the blower endeavor, make sure that, you know, you get your water methanol kit too, because it's going to make a big difference. Traction is obviously a huge issue with it. I did let the tires down to 30 pounds. It does not spin as bad as it did, but it'll still lock tires up pretty good. So basically guys, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to show you the water methanol kit again once it's installed. Just the stock washer tank, stock washer pump, some, you know, 3/16 silicone hose that was free, just a little aluminum tee, and the factory washer sprayer and a couple of Holley air bleeds. That's how I adjusted my flow. So super big gains for, you know, minimal investment. The air bleeds are like $10 for a pair of them, guys. They're dirt cheap. If you got a pin drill set, helps even more. You could always solder it up and use a piece of wire or something to, you know, make your hole if you had to. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. We'll go back over the methanol kit one more time, and I'll drop the data after that. So keep watching. All right, guys, and we got somebody down there mowing, so I hope it's not too loud on the video. You know, stock washer tank, drilled a hole in it for a return line, but I later pinched the return line off to increase my flow. The T is part of the return line system. Literally, this silicone hose just runs under the washer tank, all the way over here into our blower inlet. And as you can see, it's secured pretty well. I used the full throttle switch off this Geo because this one did not have one. The AC cut full throttle switch. Used existing wire for it under the dash, and just run the hot wire out here to the washer pump hot. Super simple. Literally took me 20 minutes to put that together and flow it. So Until the next video, guys, I'll see you next time.